Welcome to the Business and Beards podcast, spotlighting Miami County businesses. You bring your business and we'll provide the beards. Hello and welcome back to the Business and Beards podcast. Joined as always by my co-host Buddy, and I'm Parker. And today we've got owner and operator of Miami County Dance Movement, Lacy Draznik. Welcome, Lacy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, glad to have you on.
This is like the least busy time I've ever seen this place. So every time I'm in here, there are kids running or hanging out or doing homework. It seems like it's kind of a haven.
It's called summertime. So, summertime is a little precious. So we really we cut it in half.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, you got to have some time off or the place would never get repaired or desks would never get built, which it looks great. I love the look of it. Having an official kind of office space type of here's to check in and an admin desk.
I finally hired, after 15 years, I just hired my first, front desk lady, the face, that they see. Actually, another first for me was hiring a parent.
Ooh, nice.
A dance mom. Yes, that was one of my rules when I started. I have about 3 rules that I kind of came into the business with, and that's only because of previous bosses that I had from studio owners, and they were like, "Okay, don't do this, don't do this if you ever do this," And I was like, "Okay." So that was one that I never wanted to cross, and it's nothing against, it's just kind of
it's hard.
It's boundaries, and I don't have a lot of boundaries at all, but I have 3 major ones, and I broke
it.
one.
Dang it.
And that's okay because she knew what my boundary was, but she's been with me since day one. Her child is in high school, older now, and she's been through many different
phases
of the student. I was going to say colors, faces. And so I trust her with my whole heart. And she's like, well, I've been waiting. And she just stepped in and she just has taken over.
And admin is so important.
This angel. Well, I have an admin, but she's also a teacher.
Okay.
I've never gotten to a point where, I don't know, I felt like it was the right time for a front desk person. And now she's kind of just our facility, guru, our fixer,
the go-to.
our what is it? Our handyman. She's the mom of everyone, and she's just awesome. So
good.
Yes. So that's for the desk.
I like it. Nothing wrong with that. So you said you've been operating for 15 years. Would you care to share some of the history on how the Miami County Dance Movement came to be and why you grew it to the way it is now?
Many different phases, and I feel that there's still so many more to go because I'm kind of a slow play.
Consistent. Yeah. You gotta get the right terms. Yeah.
Yes. Consistent. It takes me I take a good amount of time to process things and change things or, kind of grow and that kind of thing. So, 15 years. And I actually took over the business.
Okay.
It was...
I didn't know that.
Yes. But it wasn't always Miami County Dance Movement. It was called The Dance Studio.
Gotcha.
And it was owned by Raquel Sturba. And she grew up in this area. She took dance in this area, not necessarily Miami County, but just her kind of connections were kind of brought her down here. And she had the studio and taught in this area for 19 years.
Okay.
I know.
You're almost there then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
What are we going to do? Yeah. And then her husband got a really big, amazing opportunity with work, his job. And I mean, I think she felt like she had, she had lived it, and that, she felt good with being done, I think at that time, kind of. And then Wichita State connected us. So I'm a Wichita State alum. She's also a Wichita State alum. And so she reached out to Wichita State. They reached out to kind of like a handful of people that they thought maybe were, possible that they might be interested. And it was just, I was living in San Francisco at the time and dancing and teaching. And I had been there for 4 years, and it was incredible time, but the grind was like really, I was kind of like at a point where, wow, I mean, I've really been pushing and like doing a million things for 4 years. I know 4 years is not that long, but I feel like I lived 20 years in 4 years while I was there. And it was just the right time for me. I didn't necessarily realize it. My mom was just like, just sleep on it. And she was just so much like me, the previous owner, Raquel. We were just so similar. And she, like, I don't know, it wasn't that she convinced me, but she was just like, you're the one. You're the one that I've been waiting for. You're perfect for it. And I was like, okay. And then I was just the right time for me, because I was like, okay, what is my next step? What do I, and I just was like, just trying to, think about what my next step was.
Well, and that's kind of what I was going to ask. I was like, how does Lewisburg, Kansas, a small community, amazing community, right, get such a qualified instructor, and it's kind of funny how things work out, that there's a lot of successful, amazing people in this community, and you wouldn't expect it. There's a lot to offer, and this place is one of them. Being 15 years, you've kind of seen like kids grow from one point to another, right? So have you had any people start with you that kind of, inspired to go to school for dance, or continue to dance after they graduated your dance movement that you know of?
In some form or fashion, yes. I mean, and that is something that the teachers, that is kind of a hot topic right now. We really, one of the core values of the studio is balance and life experience, not necessarily industry experience. And so it was hard for me for a little bit to kind of think about, that I wasn't necessarily producing, like professional dancers or something that you would see on TV, which really doesn't bother me at all. But it really just speaks to the things that are really dear to me and my teachers. Because the people that I hired, the teachers that we have here, they have very similar values to me. And as far as like work-life balance and the things that just different priorities with family and activities. And so the answer is I have a lot of students that will come and kind of teach, and sub and come back and teach, or they're dancing along with. That actually is my favorite one, that they're working, they're doing their life, they're working, but they still have dance as their partner kind of through life. And that's I think my favorite way of seeing alumni out there, is that they still can carry that with them, and it can still like help them through whatever profession they choose. And
Well, and I think that's a good, and I was going to mention that sometime or another, but this is a great point for it is you don't really understand the work that these young girls and boys are putting in until you go to one of those things at the high school. I'm blanking on the name.
That's
but,
okay. The team?
Yeah, like
or
the show,
recital.
the recital. And when you get up and these girls are doing and guys are doing like 7 or 8 dances in one night and helping with little kids.
Did I just see that
Yeah.
answer just a second ago?
Yeah, and it's like you really put into perspective the skills that they are building because they're working as a team, they're competing, they're memorizing, they're practicing, like all those things are going to carry them on
In front of people.
I mean, so they're
that's-
building skills that they're going to have forever.
One of the, and it really just, you do not have to be whatever,
Yeah.
a dancer. It's really just to prepare you for anything that comes along. And I had a dad recently, #DanceDads.
I'm working on becoming one. Yes.
That, and he works, I think, in healthcare or pharmaceutical healthcare, something. And he said that and he has like older children now that are high school or just graduated. And that was what he said to somebody else. It wasn't a conversation that I was a part of, but somebody else told me about it. And he said, put your kids in dance.
Yeah.
They have to be in front of people. I mean, and that, I know sports, you have to be in front of people too. You have to perform no matter what in front of people. But when you throw the creativity in there, in the art, the artistry, it's all different.
We've had absolutely no regrets with, and Lane specifically, he's kind of, it's not, I wouldn't say the norm to have a little boy in dance. And it's been a huge relief to him because it's helped him figure out some of his body. It's helped him develop some confidence in front of people. And he's much more outgoing than I used to be at his age. And I think a part of that, it comes from the experiences he's gaining from here and some other places. And the fact that he can get out there and not be embarrassed to do the things he's doing because he shouldn't be, but like I would have been. And getting him in.
You don't realize how many years can go by and your child hasn't really had to like be in front of people to do something.
In a position they're not used to.
Right. And then all of a sudden they're, 10 or middle school or something. And now they have to kind of do things like that. And, you're way ahead of the.
Yeah, I'm super glad to do it. I count it as an absolute win on the parenting section. So it's been a huge benefit for him. So
That's so awesome to hear, buddy. And people do get a little caught up sometimes with like the boy and the girl thing. But I
all comers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It is full circle, and I'm really glad that my son, maybe he'll realize it, a long time from now.
Yeah.
But I say, this is our family business. Yeah. Like, you just have to pick what style you're gonna do.
You'll look back and you realize this is a good thing.
I don't want to force you, but like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, and Stevie does a great job when she's in here. She's like ahead of the game. So she a little ball of fire, but it seems like she's doing good.
I try not to get too excited.
Yeah.
I'm a little too excited about it, so I just try to take a deep breath and
So you mentioned family business and how it's welcome to all comers and things like that. What age or what do you recommend for somebody that's just starting to want their little kid or even adults to start at?
Well, I was kind of hardcore about age 3 for a really long time. Because I just felt like emotionally it was so hard for them under the age of 3, at least for what I had set up. And then I had a 2-year-old. I became a mom, and and my teaching experience broadened because I'd only taught I mean, I didn't teach little kids until I was out of college. I mean, and I had been teaching for a really long time already. And so anyway, I think it was just kind of like my experience grew and I became a mom, and I realized that there are so many benefits and values at age about 2. I don't know if I can go much under 2.
I think potty trained is a good. You don't want any kids.
But that was one of them.
Yeah.
The 3-year-olds. But 2-year-olds usually aren't potty trained, and so I just kind of I learned a different way to focus that class, different things to do that were hopefully valuable, and bringing in parents. Yeah. And then, I mean, I think ultimately having my own 2-year-old really helped. But now that's like my favorite class to teach now is my toddler class. And I mean, I tell the rest of the girls, the teachers, that that's like my long-term plan is to just teach the toddler well, I mean, I should probably train someone. I should probably train someone for that. But I really love teaching the little ones, and there's so much you can do. And there's so many light bulbs that happen.
It's amazing what a 2 to 3-year-old can learn if you allow them to. You know, a lot of people kind of hide that, like, oh, they'll get to it when they're older. But it's okay to mess up, and it's okay for them to be bad. I think that was the realization that like we had when Lane and Riley started, is they weren't good at everything, but that's okay, you know, and they'll get good if they just do it. You know, it's repetition. It's not necessarily you have to know it before you come.
For them to learn too. I mean, they, little ones, they think that they should have things just the first time. Like, I'm still working on it. It's like, I've been working on it for 42 years. So I'm still learning.
Yeah, exactly. We're all still learning every day. So
yeah. So I would say anytime is great, even not children, especially now, like we're just kind of dipping into adult programming.
Yeah. Oh, it's very uncomfortable. I sweat the entire time, but it's been fun.
I'm just getting into that. And so still testing lots of things. And like I said, I'm a slow play on. So it's, in 15 more years, maybe I'll have it figured out.
No, you're good.
I'll be in a wheelchair by then.
I think anytime, I mean, yes, and even if, it's so hard to be able to like try all the different activities, all the different sports. And I understand that time that parents have to go through. And I mean, I try to either tell them, go try all those things. If nothing else fits, just come back, or just keep this with you the whole time. And when they finally find, what really sparks their joy, then, they'll have all the tools. Yeah. They'll be ready.
That's fantastic.
So it could go either way, but I think
we took like a little 3-month break, not because they were doing elsewhere, but when we were new business owners, money gets tight sometimes. You got to kind of make some cuts, and so we cut it for like 3 months. Our kids went insane, and we brought it back as soon as we could. So they wasn't like stopping wasn't an option to them, even though it had to. But it's like one of those things where you were very supportive through the entire time, and it felt like we were in a good spot no matter what happened.
There's so much. And families have to make really hard choices. And so I've really gotten, I mean, it's very sad, and I take a lot of things for everything personally, because it's my it's my everything. You know, it's not just my job, but I've learned to just, you know,
Go with the flow.
we got to make hard decisions, and I'm always going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for whenever they need me, and the families. And I always, even if they leave or, you know, decide to go do something else, I always say, you know, this is still their home, and
That's fantastic. I love it.
and we'll be here.
So you did bring up something interesting, and Buddy kind of put himself on the spot before this podcast, was talking about some of their adult programs that you had now. Would you care to share a little bit more and then ask, do we want to critique Buddy here, or is that no?
Oh,
My progress has been soon.
my critique of anyone is, you know, if you can just go for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That and Buddy is, I mean, the epitome. I feel like I don't know you that well, but I feel like I know you. The epitome of just going for it, you know, and that's really all you need. I mean,
First step
it
is
doesn't
trying.
matter if you feel like you can dance or not. It's really just,
Oh, I don't know who the couple is that showed up, but they were also, they told me their names, and I'm sorry if you watch this and I can't remember, but they've been here every time. But I also saw them out at the 4th of July, and they were just dancing like crazy in front of everybody, the man. And they were probably the most intimidating of it all, because they showed up and they were just fantastic. And I was like over here struggling to even take a step. But they're super nice too, and super supportive. Every adult.
were they here
Yes,
last
they
time?
were, and every adult that showed up has been super supportive to my wife and I's adventure. So my only regret is I wish I would have taken dance classes before our wedding. So we, you know, and that would have been helpful too. But
So that you weren't sweating so much and thinking about
exactly. Yeah, the less you think, the better, and I think all the time. So it's one of
The
the.
less
It goes
you
back to
think, the
Lane and
better.
Riley. Their uncomfortability will be less than mine because
Yep.
they got into it early.
Yeah.
So, but it's been great. I think if you haven't showed up before, you should, because it's very laid back. Angie, I think, is the teacher.
Angie
Yeah, Angie's
Dyer.
been great.
Yeah.
She keeps making me dance with random people, which is frustrating, but it's helped too. And so, you know, just show up and be ready to have fun. Be okay to mess up.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. Be okay to be bad is the only advice I had, because I am terrible, but you won't be worse than me. So
But everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
And that's the thing.
and I set the bar,
Yeah.
so you just have to finish a little bit higher at the bottom, and you'll be good.
You're probably better than me.
No,
You've been
no.
there more than me, so you're already a step up.
Yes.
But you do it with a smile.
Yeah, exactly. Smile and sweat down the back, and other than that, we're good. So
Yeah, no, yeah. Adult program is something that I'm like, I got excited about, really. I mean, because of the community just asking, requesting for it so much. It was half that, and like, gosh, I mean, I would love to provide that for you. The children's just kind of like fill up a lot of our
yeah,
slots, you know, so it was something that felt like it really wasn't possible. But then also my own journey, one of my mentors, who's a teacher in her 70s, I mean, she, you know, I asked her, how do you go this long? How do you keep teaching so long? And she said, you know, keep dancing. I mean, she said keep taking ballet, but she's a ballet teacher. Wear good shoes and sit down as much as you can and don't feel bad about it. And so I listen to her as much as I can, and her words just keep ringing, you know, true. And so I take ballet at Kansas City Ballet. I take adult ballet during the day,
nice.
once a week, and I miss some, you know, but because adults are so busy. And that was something that was hard for me at the beginning too. I was like, adults are just, they're just busy, and things come up, and but having that as an adult has really like gotten me excited for this new program. And yeah, we're just just getting into it. So
my only other question I have is, and it's one of those things, like, you obviously started a business with your passion, right? Like, your passion's dancing, you transfer to the business. Maybe it doesn't feel like work, maybe it does sometimes, but like, how did you go about trying to figure out how to make money with something you love? And is there any advice you could give to someone who maybe it's not about dance, but maybe they just really love something and they'd like to keep doing it, but for money? Like, how did that work for you?
for money,
You know, because you got to pay the bills, right? And so, you know, you found something you love, and it also helps you pay the bills. Is there any advice you could give to somebody watching this that maybe wants to try to do the same?
Ooh, okay. That's a really good question. I'm a farmer's daughter. So, I mean, that's all I grew up watching. And, I would say pay the bills. But also, like, just rich within, you know, feeling good about just all aspects of what you're doing. It's so fulfilling. I think that's where it comes in, is, and I don't want to sound, you know, for people that are doing, jobs, just, there's so many different jobs that need to happen to make our world work. And there's value in all of them. But like an artist, I think anyone that has a passion for something, they have to be creative about what it's going to look like. I mean, mine, I do feel like I was given an amazing opportunity, and that I was, you know, a little lucky. I didn't have to start this studio from the ground up. I mean, that's really incredible. It was, you know, kind of this little box that was
the vet building, right?
given to me. No, actually, we were in the old high school.
Oh,
so where the Simply Selah was.
Yeah. We
were in the upstairs band room.
Okay.
In just one room. And that's where it was to start. But I would say, you just have to really be creative about what it looks like, and don't feel like it has to look like exactly what you think it has to look like, especially with media, you know, and whatever we, you know, are seeing other people do. It's really hard not to get caught up in what other people are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have to work on that fairly hard as well. And so does my dad. I mean, he's 73 and he's still farming, and that is, you know, it's just what is successful to him, what feeds him, what brings, what he feels like he is filling him.
Yeah.
And that he's doing the best he can. And, you know, yes, there's so much more that I could be doing. And that's really hard for artists too. It's just, and not that it has to be an artist. It could be a mechanic or a farmer or even, like, I mean, the lady that has the flower farm now, you know, I don't know if I can say her name, but, you know, just being creative about what could be maybe just kind of something that's a small amount of what you love, and where could it fit into something else that's already, like, you know,
but
doing.
You saw the opportunity with the studio, and you took it and then made it your own, as well as grow it to be a part of the community that it is today. And that's fantastic. I mean, you got to love what you do.